Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while. New year, new video, and it is Franchise Hockey Manager 7, brought to you by the fine people over at Out of the Park Developments. It's been a while since I've posted a video, but like everybody, we've got our New Year's resolutions, and one of mine is to create more content. So here is my first attempt at that. And today's going to be a pretty full hockey day as I'm going to post my first FHM video, and then later today, by the time you see this, it will have already happened, so sorry about that, but later today I will be doing a live stream doing a preview of the 2021 NHL season. But at any rate, let's get into this. So FHM 7, I've owned every version of this game. I love the guys over at Out of the Park Developments. They do a fantastic job. I've been a supporter of them for I'm probably 15 years at this point. I think I go back with their Out of the Park baseball games. But at any rate, we're going to play through an FHM 7 series as the Boston Bruins. If you can hear a little bit of a hissing in the background, I apologize. That is my heater. I record these videos up in my office, and my office is in a detached garage. And there's no heat here, and I haven't been in my office in a couple of days due to the holidays, so it is pretty freaking cold up here right now, so that space heater is going to warm things up for me as we go, so hopefully it won't be too big of a distraction. If it is, I apologize. So let's jump in. So we're going to go right from the beginning. I haven't done anything, so we're going to start a new standard game. We're going to call it Bruins YouTube. We're going to 2020 start, and let's go. One of the great things about FHM, and not just FHM, but all the Out of the Park baseball games, is just the depth in which these guys go to give you kind of that full experience. And if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with the FHM team, the FHM game, and Out of the Park baseball in general. But if you're not, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to have all these leagues in the game, and it is going to slow the sim engine down, but that's fine. I wasn't planning on sitting here and having you guys watch the game sim, so most of the simming will be done on the back end. I think that's still a little too loud, so let me turn that down a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Most of the simming will be done on the back end or offline. I'll do some simming here while I'm talking, but for the most part, we're going to play a couple games here and there on the new 2D engine that they've put into this year's game, and then as we're completing trades and free agency and that sort of thing, we'll do some simming. But day to day during the course of the season, we probably won't do a ton of simming. I don't know how long these are going to take. Anyway, I'll talk while it's loading. But anyway, we're going to load all these teams, so it is going to make the sim engine run a little bit slow. It's just sort of the way it goes. I don't know what these videos are really going to look like. I'm not going to do challenge mode because I'm not really interested in... if you play on challenge mode, you can only go one day in advance. You can't do play until, and sometimes I like to do, just sim a week at a time rather than a day at a time. It's just going to take too long. I don't care if my achievements are tracked. You guys will be able to see that. Yeah, so I don't know what these seasons are going to look like. Yeah, I don't know what these sims are going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to do 20, 30-minute videos or if they're going to be an hour. I'll probably just record them and see what happens. You guys tell me. Do you like shorter videos? Do you like longer videos? Do you want me to sim every day? Would you rather have me sim a month at a time and then just come back and show you stats and stuff? What do you want? Because I do this as much for you as I do for me. And I always do Cam Neely because he is... Well, he's my all-time favorite hockey player. Cam Neely was a beast. Nickname of Seabass. I'll leave the birthday. You guys don't need to know my birthday. We are going to start as the Boston Bruins. And let's see. Do we want to do GM and head coach or just GM? I think I want to do GM and head coach because I want to have control over the lineups. So we'll do GM and head coach. All right. Now this You have the ability to set up your manager. I always like to set myself up as offensive and physical. It's the kind of hockey I like. And then my GM template, I think I'm going to go with, and it gives you the description down here, I think I'm going to go with negotiator, adept at dealing with both other GMs and players, but a little lax with the players and easy to blame when things go wrong. I'm not concerned about self-management because I am going to set myself up not to be fired. And so I want the negotiating skill and the player management skill. Coach templates are a little bit harder. I'm not really sure what I want to do here. Defensive tactician tries to win by focusing on a good defensive game plan aimed at shutting down his op. I know what I would like to do, but the Bruins roster really kind of is the antithesis of that. I like to go with good with kids, but the Bruins core, Bergeron, Krejci, Marchand, they're not kids. So I don't know how well this would work, although it might work to develop some of the youngsters, McAvoy, DeBrusk, Matty Grzelcyk, players like that. So I'm not sure. Not that Grzelcyk's really a kid anymore, but so I'm thinking either good with kids or offensive tactician tries to win by focusing on a good offensive game plan aimed at outgunning his opposition. Problem here is that I don't think we have the weapons to do that. As most of you know, the Bruins are pretty much a one-line team, 1.5-line team, depending on whether Jake DeBrusk is on a hot streak or not. So I think we're gonna go. Good with kids and see what we can do to try to develop some of the youngsters that we have. So we'll hit OK, and this is where we're gonna have a bit of a delay as it loads all of the leagues and all the players within all the leagues. So yeah, I think this video is probably going to be a little bit longer just because I'm going to go through the setup. We're going to look at the team. We're going to look at how the game plays out, or how the game is set up, I guess. We'll look at the settings, make sure everything is where we want it to be. We'll go over the roster. We will sim up to... Oops, unplugged my headphones there. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally unplugged my headphones. We'll see what the roster looks like. We'll set the lines. We'll sim up to opening day, and then we'll probably play through that opening night game and call it a day. So this video is going to be a little bumpy. I apologize for that. It's been a couple months since I've recorded something, so hopefully I'll get back into the groove here a little bit as we go. My goal is to post a couple of these a week. I'm thinking Tuesday and Friday-ish somewhere, Tuesday and Saturday. It's Saturday right now. I don't know if I'll get this up today or tomorrow, but my hope is to do 2 streams a week, or 2 videos a week, and then 1 live stream. So hopefully you guys can check me out for the live stream. Sometime the live streams are going to be, like tonight I'm doing, like I said, an NHL preview. Other live streams may be gaming. Other live streams maybe, I don't know what. But tonight is going to be an NHL preview, so I hope to have something posted to my YouTube channel 3 times a week is the goal. So this will continue to sim ahead, and when it's done, I'll come back and we'll jump in. All right, here we are. So homepage of the Boston Bruins. Let's take a look at manager options and change. What do we want to change? So I want to change. I don't want it to stop every time I get a personal message. Although they have cleaned up the way the mail works, which is nice. I think I need to. Where am I going? Did I forget to change? Here we go. Cannot be fired. That's what I wanted to change. All right. So let's go back to the Bruins homepage. That's not the Bruins homepage. Team home. Yeah, it's been a while since, like I said, it's been a while since I played. So here's the Bruins homepage. Got a couple big injuries right off the bat. Marchand and Pasternak are out for an extended period of time. In real life, Marchand will be back by opening day, but opening day for us is not January 13th. It is, what, October 2nd or whatever? So let's take a look at, let's see, where do we want to start? Start with staff, because, scouting. I love what they did with scouting. So previously, you would hire a scout, and that scout would cover a particular place, Quebec or, Hockey East or Sweden or whatever it is. They've changed it. It's very cool the way they've changed it. So let's actually go to scouting first, because I like to do all this stuff first. So let's go to scouting, and you can see you've got these maps, and you've got a rating of up to 20 for each area. And you can see the closer you are to 20, the colors change. So the Southeast and kind of the tri-state area, or what they consider the Atlantic, our ratings are a little bit lower than they are in the Midwest, the West, and then Northeast, New England, we are scouted at pretty much the highest you can be scouted at. Now, I want to get another scout into this area to cover Minnesota, North Dakota, places like that. So what you can do is now you just look for where they're based in, and you look for this central, United States Central. So, those are my scouts. We need to look for higher scouts. So let's go to, is it just going to list the state? Yeah, it's just going to list the states. So let's look for a Minnesota scout. I don't want somebody who's super old. Here we go, Casey Bernards. So we're going to hire Casey Bernards. And you can see it changes the scouting number, which will make our scouting more accurate. And I also want to get somebody into the upper Midwest, which again, that's where I put that person, was in the upper Midwest. I don't necessarily think I need anybody here, although scouting North Dakota might not be a bad idea. So let's pick up a scout in North Dakota. You only got a couple, but you got an average and above average. So we'll hire, where'd he go? North Dakota, Andy Schneider. Let's hire Andy Schneider. And that should make that section, that whole western part of the United States is now blue. So perfect. So the United States is pretty well set. I'm not too fussed about this market here. You're losing out on a couple colleges in New York, but I'm not really worried about that. So we go to Canada. You can see Canada needs some work. You definitely, at least I personally think that you want to be maxed out in Quebec. So let's go down to Quebec. Canada. Go down to Quebec and find ourselves the very best possible scout in Quebec. So we got an average and excellent there, average and very good, above average and good. Bill Dandy, he's dandy at both. That was really bad. Vincent Cormier. Here we go. Elliot Demers, good and very good. So we're going to hire him. And you can see that fills in. For some reason, it filled in Alberta. And I think I'm okay with that. I mean, I could probably get one more scout in here. Let's just get Canada sorted out. All right, let's just get Canada sorted. So do we want someone in Alberta, or do we want someone in... Let's get someone in Saskatchewan, because that's sort of centralized there. Here we go. A nice young scout. Oh, good, very good. Yeah, we're going to go good and good. Let's plug him in. All right, Canada's set. So Canada and the United States are set. Western Europe, we need to do some work in Western Europe. Eastern Europe, we definitely need to do some work there. So let's start in Western Europe. I like to get the Sweden, Finland, and Norway kind of locked down. So let's look for Sweden, Finland, and Norway. Finland proper. Petri Salvalainen. That works. All right, so one more scout should do it. If we get a scout in Norway, that probably puts us in pretty good position. Do we have any Norway scouts? I don't see anybody in Norway. Oh, you can always... What's the flag? That's Finland, right? Yeah. That's Sweden. That's Finland. I don't know what the Norwegian flag looks like. That's Swiss. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Vestfold. All right, Kenneth Ragel. All right, wow, that did a huge number. Okay, great. So, 5, we got Denmark. I think I'm good there. Do I want to... I think it might be good to get a scout in Switzerland because that'll cover most of this area. So let's find a good scout. Let's go by nationality. Let's find ourselves a good Swiss scout. Geneva, perfect. But he's great in average. He's really good. Oh, here we go. Great and good. Very good. Very... Yeah, these guys are... I don't want to hire an old scout just because they're going to potentially retire sooner. So let's see if we can find someone in their 40s. Right there. Michael Barbie. They're also cheaper. All right, so that takes care of the Scandinavian area. Gets us in good position in Switzerland. The rest of these are in pretty good shape. I'm not too fussed. I'm at about a 80 to 85% accuracy. And then Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe's a bit of a bear, but we definitely need to get somebody in the Czech Republic. We definitely need to get people in Russia. So let's go to Eastern Europe. This is the Czech Republic, right? No, it's Russia. Okay. That's fine. All right, so Maxim Krivonoskin. And what did that do? It bumped up Russia a little bit, but Russia's so big. We're going to need multiple scouts. And this does cost money. Okay, well that made a huge difference. This does cost money. This isn't free. This is going to cost us money in the long run, but I think it's money well spent. Vaclav Norost. And I'm sure I'm butchering the name, so we need another Czech Republic. So I want to get the Czech Republic at least into the blue. Let's find another Czech scout. That's Russia again. Let's go Yuri Ryzuk, because he's really young and he's cheap. All right, so that takes care of Russia. Czech Republic is in decent shape now. Do we stick one in Slovakia? I think Slovakia might be a good option. That's Latvia. There's Slovakia. Okay, so I know what Slovakia's flag looks like now. So let's... Ukraine. Where did it go? Oh, they're right here. Okay. So these are Slovakia, right? Now it's Latvia. I just said that. That's the Czech Republic. Where did they go? I was just looking at a flag from Slovakia, wasn't I? Let me do it this way. There might not be any Slovak. No, I don't see anybody. All right, so I think we just have to find one more. Is it Latvia? I'm sorry, I don't know my European states maybe as well as I should. So let's see what this does. Okay, all right, so that's perfect. That gives us a good spread in Eastern Europe as well. And then the rest of the world, it just sort of fills it in. So scouting, really cool. I love the way they do it this year. So our scouts are set. Let's take a look at our staff and see if there's any changes we want to make here. So Jay Pandolfo, very good physical training. He's good with prospects. Joe Sacco, he's our offensive coach, good with forwards, above average, very good and good. I think we're good with our coaching staff. Bruins coaching staff is excellent. So I think we're good there. Let's take a look at... I don't think there's any... Yeah, and the neat thing is that there's nothing else I have to do here. So you can assign scouts to a specific area. And you can also set a head scout and an advanced scout. So if we set, like, if we make Scott Fitzgerald, oops. You can see naming someone as a head scout will increase his contribution to your overall scouting coverage. The advanced scout will scout every team you play. So I think what makes the most sense if you're doing is to make somebody from here my head scout, because it will increase his scouting, his scouting reach, I guess. So let's make, who do we want to make our advanced scout? It's got to be somebody from, so we're going to make him the head scout, and that should, yeah, see, it increased our scouting in the Baltic. And our advanced scout is going to be Scott Bradley. And that for some reason that reduced in here. Okay, well, whatever. All right, finances. We're in pretty good shape. We've got some money for free agents. We've got money for extensions. We've got some decent salary cap space, salary obligations. We've got Charlie Coyle locked up long-term. Marchand's locked up long-term. Patrice this year and next. Pasternak for a couple years. DeBrusk just signed a new contract. Craig Smith for 3 years. Wagner and Bjork. David Krejci and Andre Kasha are up at the end of this year. So is Nick Ritchie. These guys are both RFAs. Kasha is somebody we might look to re-sign. Ritchie, I will ship out of town as quickly as I can. Defensively, the Bruins are going to struggle, having lost both Torrey Krug and Zdeno Chara. Charlie McAvoy, Brandon Carlo, Matty Grzelcyk, and I think right now the Bruins' plan is to have Jeremy Lauzon as their second pairing left defenseman, but I think for this game it'll be John Moore, and then Clifton and Lauzon as the third pairing, I think. Goaltenders, both of our goalies are up after this year, Tuukka Rask and Jarl Halak, so we'll have a decision to make there. I am not a Tuukka hater. I absolutely adore Tuukka Rask. I think he's one of the best goalies to ever put on the spoke to be, but thankfully this is a video game and not real life, and if I want him back, I can probably bring him back. So let's take a look at, so we got our roster. We have some players that are injured, so let's just start by putting Marchand and Pasternak, oh God, that's rough, on the injury list. How long have I been going for? About 20 minutes. Okay, so this looks like it's probably going to be about a 45-minute video. That's fine, I guess. All right, sorry, just getting some more coffee. All right, so what do I want to look at? We looked at contracts. Let's look at depth charts. So we can take a look at some of the... And I just pulled my headphones out again. Sorry, they are connected to both the mic and to the headphone itself, and the jack keeps coming out of the headphone, so I'm going to have to figure out a better way to do this so that doesn't keep happening. But at any rate, so we've got our depth chart, which shows players that are on the big club, so to speak, players that are in Providence, and then prospects that are still with their either college team or the Bruins don't have them in their system, like Forsbacka Karlsson is playing in Sweden this year. So you can see depth chart, goalie, again, Rask and Halak. Behind them, they got a couple of good prospects. Dan Vladar got an opportunity last year and wasn't very good, but he'll start in Providence, along with Jeremy Swayman, who is probably the Bruins goalie of the future, just left Maine at the end of last season and put up some fantastic numbers. Kyle Kaiser is another option, but depending on how Swayman develops this season, if we can bring Rask back on a shorter 2-year contract or something, we can slide Swayman into that backup role next year, perhaps. Defensively, again, not a whole lot here outside of McAvoy. Carlo is he's a solid defensive defenseman, but isn't going to provide much offense. So top two, Matt Grzelcyk, another undersized defenseman, but not nearly as good as Torrey Krug. Urho Vakanainen is the Bruins' top defensive prospect. He's going to start in Providence. He's 1.5 star talent, 5-star potential. And another change to the scouting is the big number is how much we've scouted them, and then the little number is how close they are, or what the likelihood is that they're going to reach this number. So this is really good. This means that we've scouted him thoroughly, and he's almost certain to reach this potential. So Urho Vakanainen will start in Providence. I almost said Pawtucket. He'll start in Providence. Kevin Miller, Jeremy Lauzon, Connor Clifton, Steve Kampfer are with the big club. The only other defenseman who might get a look this year is Jacob Zaboral. We'll see. Left wing, Brad Marchand, Jake DeBrusk, Nick Ritchie, and Anders Bjork are the 4 top left wings on the Bruins. Peter Cehlarik is in, where's the SHL? I'm not sure where that is. I should know this. Slovakia? Yeah. Okay, so he's in Slovakia this year. There's not a lot of depth there. Jacob Lauko is a solid prospect, but he's still a ways away. Again, A scouting, but only C. The team's only somewhat certain that he's going to reach this potential. So he'll start as a 19-year-old in Providence, and then bleed is just depth. Quinn Olson. We need to do some scouting on him because he looks pretty solid, but he's actually listed as our top prospect. But since we don't know anything about him, can't really say whether he's going to deliver. The team is strong down the middle. Any team that's got Bergeron and Krejci as their top 2 centers is going to be strong down the middle, but Patrice still going strong at 35. He will wear the C this year with Chara being gone. David Krejci, one of the more criminally underrated players in the NHL, specifically in Boston. I love David Krejci. Charlie Coyle, as good a third line center as you're going to find in the NHL. He can move up and play the right wing on Krejci's line if he needs to. Sean Corrali, another one that I love. A fantastic fourth wing grinder. Really, Sean Corrali is one of my favorite Bruins. Par Lindholm, some depth. And a couple of prospects here. Jack Studnicka is only a 3-star potential, but they think he's going to reach that. Jack is going to get some time with the Bruins this year, more than likely, but he will start in Providence, as that defensive rating is a little rough for my liking, but offensively he's got some skill. Trent Frederick is more of a grinder, but he'll also see some time with the Bruins this season. You can see he's pretty average across the board, but he's physical. He's good, got some good defensive ratings. Cameron Hughes, Koppinen, none of these guys are probably going to make a huge difference with the team this year. Right wing, David Pastrnak is out for 3 to 4 months, so we'll get him back sometime in January. Pasta, 48 goals last year in 70 games, career high 95 points, was just a monster last year, so we lose him for the first half of this season. It'll be interesting to see what I do with that number 1 right wing position. I'm not really sure yet, to be honest with you, and I'm just moving around in my chair. If you can hear the noise, I apologize. Not really sure what I'm going to do with that number 1 right wing slot yet. We will see. Craig Smith, the Bruins' major, or only, well, not major, I guess they made a couple. Their major free agent acquisition comes in after scoring 18 goals in 69 games for Nashville a year ago, but can play first, second, or third line. Andre Kasha, he may be the one who ends up on that number 1 line, and really this is a golden opportunity for him, at least in the fictional world of Franchise Hockey Manager, as he's going to get 3 months playing with Bergeron and Marchand before Pastrnak comes back. He's got some offensive skill. Only had 1 point in 6 games with the Bruins last year before getting hurt, but you can see really, really good offensively. So we'll probably stick him on RW1 and see what happens there. Chris Wagner, Again, that fourth line grinder. Alexander Kovalchev will never see time with the Bruins, so I may end up trying to trade his rights if that's something I can still do. I haven't even looked. Zachary Senyshyn, again, 2.5-star offensive forward. He's not ready yet. You can see he's got some offensive skill, but defensively he's just really, really bad. Very physical, so he might get a shot if we need some offensive punch. Carson Kuhlman, depth, third, fourth wing type player. John Beecher was our number 1 pick a couple of years ago. It has him listed as a wing, but he'll probably end up as a center when he comes up, and I'm looking forward to him. He's not going to score a ton, but he's going to be a good all-around center, which, something the Bruins have had for years and years and years. So draft picks, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we got a couple of 7ths. Quinn Olson is listed as our top prospect. I don't know if that's just based on stars. It probably is from the looks of it. Beecher, Swayman, Lauko, Studnicka, Curtis Hall, center plays for Yale, Mason Lowry, Travis Kuntar, Zaboral, Senyshyn, Pavel Shen, etc., etc., etc. Let's take a look at Patrice's ratings. Yeah, I mean, he's just the man here. And the other cool thing is you can see when you're looking at the different ratings, you can see it lights up which skills are important. So, for someone like Bergeron, something like Gretzky's office might not be a bad idea because he's really skilled at all of the different offensive ratings that require it, or playmaker, or not so much. Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything here. Counterattacking forward is a good one. He's a great passer, great stick checker, great defensive read. Two-way forward, that's probably the way we go with Patrice, just because he's so good at everything. So they really, when you start digging into this, it's pretty cool. So, all right, well, let's take a look at the roster. So we have 23 players on our roster. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like there might be something blocking it there. Is there anybody in Providence that we want to call up? I don't believe there is. We got Lauko. We got Swayman, Vakanainen. Yeah, we want all those guys down in Providence. All right, so I think we can just dress everybody. Sorry, that assistant dress players. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to dress 20 out of 23. And I'm sorry, my phone just went off. I need to shut that off. All right. Sorry about that. My phone was on. I forgot to shut it off. And if there are any changes, yeah, there are definitely changes. Like it's dressing Kevin Miller and Steven Kampfer and not Clifton and Carlo. I'm okay with Kuhlman. I don't want Greg McKegg. I guess I want to do that. So McKegg, Kampfer, and Miller will be the scratches. If we go to the lines, let's just have the assistant create them, and then we'll adjust as needed. All right, so yeah, it has everybody listed. Oh, I think you can change set the roles too. Yeah. All right, so it sets the roster the way that it thinks it should. Of course, it's got Charlie Coyle as the fourth line left wing, which isn't something I want to do. So I want to make Kasha my number 1 right wing. Craig Smith is going to be number 2. Kuhlman will be on the third line. DeBrusk, Krejci, and Smith. Coyle, Coleman, and Ritchie. Corrali, Wagner, Lindholm. Bergeron, Kasha, and I don't like Anders Bjork there, but I think he will be protected by Bergeron. So if we can change the roles. And so the higher this number, the better, obviously. So we'll make him a back-checking forward. That way he won't get himself out of position. Defensive positioning is the most important. Bergeron, I think we were going to leave as a two-way forward, right? Was that what we were going to do, two-way forward? Yeah. And then Kasha, counterattacking? Yeah, we want him as counterattacking because he's the one who's got some offensive skill there on that first line. Jake DeBrusk is more of a banger, but I don't want him as a... Like, I think I want him as a power forward, even though he might be listed better as... Yeah, I think I like Jake DeBrusk as a power forward. David Krejci. Two-way forward for Krejci. And Craig Smith. So Craig Smith is actually a better power forward than DeBrusk. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make DeBrusk a sniper. Because he's the one who's going to provide that offensive punch on the first line. So we got grinder. I don't necessarily think Charlie Coyle needs to be a grinder. Let me Charlie Coyle power forward. He'd muck it up in front of the net. Nick Ritchie is fine as a grinder. Carson Kuhlman, aggressive forechecker. Let me go to the fourth line. Corrali as a power forward is fine. Wagner as a grinder is fine. Lindholm as a back-checking forward is fine. All right, defensively, McAvoy, two-way defenseman. Matty Grzelcyk. He's not really an... I'm going to put him as two-ways. He's not really an offensive defenseman. John Moore, mobile. Brandon Carlo, I think, is probably better off as a stay-at-home defenseman. And then... This third pairing is pretty rough, so we'll make Lauzon a crease clearer, and Clifton can stay the way he is as a shutdown defenseman. That's fine. Power play. Bjork, Bergeron, Smith, McAvoy, Grzelcyk. DeBrusk, Krejci, no. I want Kasha out there. Switch Kasha and Smith, and I don't want Sean Corrali out there on the power play. I think we do this. We're going to put Krejci on the point. Go with four forwards on that second line. So DeBrusk, Coyle, Smith, Krejci. I don't think I want Carlo. This is the problem without Torrey Krug. I mean, we'll try it with Carlo. I'm not anticipating that it's going to work. So we will do this. And then 4-on-3, we're going to go Bergeron and... All right, this is silly. All right, so Bergeron and Kasha. And then Krejci is going to be out there with Carlo. And Krejci, Coyle, and DeBrusk. That's what I want. So Bjork, Bergeron, Kasha, McAvoy, Grzelcyk, DeBrusk, Coyle, Smith, Krejci, Carlo. And then 4-on-3, Kasha, Bergeron, Grzelcyk, McAvoy, DeBrusk, Coyle, Krejci, and Carlo. Penalty kill, Bergeron, and I think we're going to go... We're going to do that. That I'm not crazy about, though. So we need Wagner out there on the PK with Lindholm, I think. Yeah. Wagner, Lindholm, Krejci, Smith, Corrali, Bergeron, and I don't want that third pairing out there very often. We're going to go with that. Grzelcyk and McAvoy out there half the time. Bergeron and Krejci. All right, that's fine. 4-on-4. Again, I don't want... I think we're going to go Bergeron and Coyle. Krejci. No, Bergeron and Coyle. And DeBrusk and Krejci as my 4-on-4. And then 3-on-3, it's got to be Bergeron. I don't know. Not... Bergeron and Kasha on 3-on-3. And Krejci and DeBrusk. Yeah, that's what I want. And goalie starts, because I am going to sim a lot of these. We're going to lock the settings. The A is not going to change it, and we are going to use these. So we're going to stick with the starter during the playoffs. The backup is going to start fairly frequently. Start the best goalie occasionally. Alternate goalies on a back-to-back game all the time. Not always start the best rested. And we probably should, but... and then start the hottest goalie some of the time. All right, so I think that's good for goalie starts. That's the most realistic. The Bruins like to use their goalies in tandem, I guess. All right, so let's take a look at the schedule. We've got 6 preseason games. Our first regular season game is against the Blues on October 3rd. So let's take a look and see if there are any free agents. I think there are, but I don't know if I necessarily want to sign any of them. Yeah, like Mike Hoffman's on here. He shouldn't be. He should be on St. Louis. I could sign him, but he's 30, and he's a bit of a douche, so I don't know if I want to. None of these guys are scouted all that well. Mikael Granlund, he had a pretty good season last year with Nashville. 30 points. I'm content with the makeup of our team right now, I think. Assuming we don't have any major injuries. If we do, things are going to go sideways, but we're going to stick with that for right now. Upcoming free agents, we got some people that we got to deal with, but we're not going to do that. Not going to do that right now. We'll do that throughout the season. Tactics. Let's see. The Bruins like to hit. They don't shoot it nearly enough. Back checking. I like to back check. I like to put pressure. Let's be aggressive. Breakout. Flexible reaction. Lowest chance of defensive takeaways during breakout. Best use with defensemen of good teamwork speed. We don't have that. Through center. Reduce the chance of a giveaway. Best use of good center. We're going to go with that. We're going to go breakout through center. Neutral zone offense. Dump in is fine. Offensive zone. Cycle is fine. Forecheck. 1-2-2. Yeah, that's fine. Defensive zone coverage. 2-3. I'm okay with the 2-3. Power play. Breakout. Up the center. Overload or... Yep, overload's fine. All right, that looks good. I'm content with that. I don't want to get too deep into all that stuff. I'm fine with that, though. Pull goalie down by 1. Pull goalie down by 2. Goalie switch fast. No. All right, I think we're good there. So we are going to go ahead now, and I'm going to sim ahead to opening night, and then we'll play that opening night game, or we'll quote-unquote play it. I'll let you watch the sim engine, and then we'll call it an episode. So I will be right back. All right, we are back, and I mentioned that they did a much better job this year of kind of handling the mailbox was always a bit clunky through FHM. Works a little bit more like out of the park baseball now. And they make it really easy. So green dot means that it's something that has to do with my team. The blue means that there's an actionable item in there that I need to take a look at. So draft evaluation, Owen Power, and I mean, we're not going to get any of these guys. We are going to be picking in this area based on the Bruins winning the President's Trophy last year. I think they'll probably be in this area. But again, our scouts will take care of that. So Matthew Pekka for Esa Lindell. Carey Price out for 4 months. Tore his rotator cuff during practice. So tough break for the Canadiens. Let's see. Matt Grzelcyk did something good, endowed a scholarship at his hometown college, which was BC. Is it BC or BU? I can't remember if Grzelcyk went to BC or BU. BU. He went to BU. He's a BU guy. Par Lindholm improved at left wing. A couple of trades went down. Tampa sends Braden Coburn to the Red Wings for a 3rd-round pick. So that's a solid deal for the Lightning. They get out from underneath Coburn's contract. He's also a bit up there in age. He picks up a 3rd-round pick. Tampa also trades Blake Coleman to Ottawa for a 3rd-round pick. So they basically traded. They come out of this with an extra third. Oh, that ends up not being a good deal. So they traded Blake Coleman for a 3rd, and then they picked up a 3rd for Coburn. Not sure how I feel about that. Nashville and Toronto. Brad Richardson, Devin Cooley for Jake Muzzin. Preds, I think, do well there. Not entirely sure what Toronto's doing. Maybe they're trying to cut some salary. Not sure. We have some players who need to clear waivers. Zach Senyshyn is one of them. But I guess he already cleared waivers because he's down there. Our scouts, you can see that the potential's starting to get better for a couple of them. He's an RFA, right? We've got some RFAs that we didn't look at. Maybe we should take a look at some of the RFAs. Let's do that really quickly before the season starts. We have some money. Season preview, we are listed as a team to beat. Not sure how that's going to work, though, with Marchand and Pasternak being out. We'll see. Edmonton and Montreal. Montreal had to make a deal after losing Carey Price. They picked up Anton Forsberg from the Oilers for a 5th. And Carson Kuhlman wants to change his number to 20. I don't care. That's fine. Let's delete this, and let's look at some of those RFAs. Let's just look at the restricteds. Okay. We've got some cap money. So, in real life, Dubois signed I think it was a 2-year, $10 million contract with Columbus. And rumor has it he's going to be traded now. But here he's still an RFA. Anthony Cirelli, it'd be nice to steal him from Tampa. Jesper Bratt, Dylan Strome, Vince Dunn. We could definitely use a defenseman. They took one of ours, we'll take one of theirs. 4 years. See, here's the thing. I mean, I guess if I offer the contract, if I offered it, if I'm gonna offer an RFA, I gotta offer something that the other team won't take. And while it'd be nice to have Barzal or Dubois or Cirelli, I don't necessarily want to spend any more money up the middle. We're in decent shape there with Bergeron, Krejci, and Coyle. Dunn makes the most sense because he's a left defenseman, which is something we need. So what if we gave him $4 years at $5 million each? Oops. Is that going to be too rich for St. Louis's blood? Why can't I submit it? Why can't I submit this? Why can't I offer this contract? I'm sure I'm doing something wrong here. Let's go back. Let's just look at, does it do the same thing with him? Yeah, it's not letting me submit. Is it the time of year? You guys will have to let me know, because I'd like to bring in Dunn, but for some reason it's not letting me offer him that contract. All right, well, let's sim ahead. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I did it and I didn't even realize it. We'll see. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to that St. Louis game. I'm going to show you the 2D engine, and then we will call it an episode. Night to remember for Dustin Brown. The Lightning waived Sammy Vatanen. Can I claim him? I can. Do I want to claim him? What's his contract? Only $700,000. I mean, he's a better option than what we have. I think we claim him. Vegas and Columbus. Braden McNabb to Columbus for a third. All right, so is he on our team yet? No, he's not on our team yet. So we're going to have to go through today before we get to that point, and I'll show you next episode if we signed him. So let's go ahead and play this game. Make sure our lineups are fine. Bjork, Bergeron, Kasha, DeBrusk, Krejci, Smith, Ritchie, Coyle, Kuhlman, Lindholm, Corrali, Wagner, Grzelcyk, McAvoy, Moore, Carlo, Lauzon, and Clifton. We're starting. I don't want to start Halak, but it looks like for some reason it's starting Halak. All right. Well, I guess Jaro Halak gets the nod. Actually, can I make the change here before it starts? Options, tactics, lines. All right, so let's look at the options here. So we're going to view it fast, quick speed, fast, sound, low, game stoppages. Yeah, we're just going to break on goals, penalties, injuries, and a goalie change. All right, so here we go. Let's play. And it's a pretty neat engine. It's large. It takes up more than half the screen. It takes up more than the entire screen. Some fiddling about at center ice. First shot on goal there is no good. Or I guess it was saved by Binnington. Stolen away. Back come the Blues. Shot on Rask. He's able to make the save, and I think we're going to have an icing. Yep. Bruins break out of the zone. Tarasenko makes the stop at the blue line, stolen back by the Bruins. Breakaway shot. I don't even know if the shot made it on goal there. So you can see the 2D engine has got a bit. It's got some work. It's got some work to do, but this is the one thing. So the two big, I guess, hockey simulation games out there, and I don't count the NHL series as a simulation game. The two big simulation games are Franchise Hockey Manager and East Side Hockey Manager is the other one. And East Side has had a 2D engine similar to this for a while, and it runs pretty smoothly. There's some stuff about East Side that I like better than FHM, and there's stuff about FHM I like better than East Side. So it's they're both really fun games if you're old like me and don't like the hand-eye coordination needed to play. We got a penalty here called on Par Lindholm, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. All right. So the Blues will go on the first power play of the game. Yeah, if you're old like me and don't like the hand-eye coordination needed to play, oh, we got a shot, and did that go in? Or did that go? No, it's behind the net. Okay. We got another penalty, this one on Colton Parayko for the Blues. That wipes out the power play. If you like just the stats and the numbers and the team building and that sort of thing, we shot score. First goal of the year scored by Charlie Coyle. Looks like unassisted there to give the Bruins a 1-0 lead on the 4-on-4. Charlie Coyle gives the Bruins the lead. Yeah, if you just like to see, I've always loved playing games like this and having the stats. We got a breakaway for the Blues, shot saved by Rask. Just the stat building and watching players develop and seeing if they develop differently than they do in real life, and and that sort of thing. It's what's made the out of the park baseball game so successful. These games are fantastic. These games are absolutely fantastic for that. I think the last NHL game I played with any real regularity was like NHL 95, so it's been a while since I've played the NHL series. Even the Madden series, I play, like when I would play that, I would do more of a simulation than I would actually play the games. I couldn't get into the actual gameplay. First period's almost over here. Bruins with a 1-0 lead. Charlie Coyle with the only goal of the game so far, unassisted on a 4-on-4. And that is the end of the first period. Bruins outshoot the Blues 13-5 in the first period. Charlie Coyle with the lone goal for the Bruins, and we'll move into period number 2. Face-off won by the Bruins, but the Blues take it right back. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm going to play through this series. What I'll probably do, there was a guy who used to play, and he hasn't done very many videos lately. His name is Lanky Legs. Shout out to Lanky Legs if he ever watches this. But he did some Eastside Hockey Manager videos, and I liked the way he did it. He would play a game or two, depending on the time of the season. He would then simulate off camera, a dozen games or 15 games, and as Patrice Bergeron picks up a 2-minute minor for roughing. So he would simulate, it's a 4-on-4 as Vladimir Tarasenko goes out with a high stick. So he would simulate a dozen games, and it looks like it's a 3-on-3 right now. He would simulate a dozen games, then he would come back and he'd play a game and he'd show the stats and any line changes and stuff that he made. And, if he was making any trades, he would obviously stay for that and signings and another penalty. This one on Jaden Schwartz. So the Bruins will go on the power play here for a bit. So I like the way he did it, so I'll probably do it that way. Yeah, I'll probably do it that way. So I'll probably finish this game and then sim through, 2 weeks until I find an interesting game. Like, this is an interesting game. It's opening night, but it's also the Bruins and the Blues. So, maybe find a game against the Canadiens or the Rangers or, or something like that. And we'll play those games, and then we'll sim everything else. And, we'll look at stats, and we'll look at trades, and we'll look at free agent signings, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's probably what I'm thinking. So still 1-0 here midway through the hockey game. Charlie Coyle, the lone goal of this one in the first period. Unassisted. I do like that the engine is that the 2D engine's easy to follow. Like, you can see where the puck is. Excuse me. And sometimes that can be tough with hockey, just at least a hockey game like this, because the puck moves so fast. At least in this case, you can see where it is most of the time. 5.5 minutes left to go in the second period. Bruins still lead 1-0. DeBrusk has his pocket picked there. Shot on Binnington is saved. Coyle with some good defense until John Moore can get back. Crowd in St. Louis starting to get a little antsy. Bruins have it out in center ice. Cleared back in, stolen away by the Blues. Down to 2 minutes left in the second period. Shot on Tuukka Rask is saved. Binnington makes the save there. Stolen away by the Bees. And that is the end of the second period. Bruins will go into the third with a 1-0 lead. Bruins outshooting the Blues 22-16 through 2 periods. You can see Charlie Coyle with a 70 offensive game rating so far. He's been our best offensive player. Charlie McAvoy has been our best defensive player. Connor Clifton playing a pretty solid game defensively for the Bruins as well. So we go to the third. Bruins lead 1-0. Some more coffee. Again, my office is still cold. Hasn't warmed up fully yet. Usually takes about an hour for it to warm up to its full temperature. Bruins trying to hold on. They have a 1-0 lead a couple minutes into period number 3. Looking to extend that lead. Pick up their first win of the year here on opening night. Shot is held on to by Tuukka. Another save by Rask. Torrey Krug in a Blues jersey is something I'm still not entirely comfortable with, but 2-minute minor against Robert Bortuzzo for holdings. The Bruins will go on the power play here, up 1-0. Shot. 3 straight shots for the Bruins, all saved, kicked away by Binnington. That will just about do it on the power play here. Cleared down on Rask, kicked into the corner. Bruins break it out into center ice. Shot on is saved by Binnington. Midway through period number 3, 2 shots, score by the Bruins. Jake DeBrusk from Connor Clifton and David Krejci has given the Bruins a 2-0 lead here with 11:36 left to go in period number 3. Is there an instant replay? I don't think there is. Nope. Be cool to have an instant replay, something you can do in slow motion. But at any rate, the Bruins have taken a 2-0 lead with 11:36 left to go in this one. Bruins looking to hold on and win on opening night here against the defender. No, I guess they're not the defending Cup champions anymore. That would be Tampa Bay. Carlo has his pocket picked. Stolen away there and dumped into the corner. Under 10 minutes left to go here in period number 3. Bruins have it out in center ice now. Shot on Binnington is saved. Under 8 minutes. Bruins just looking to hold on here. Shot behind the net. Cleared onto Rask. Clifton has it. Up into center ice. Bruins dump it back and then in on Binnington, who makes the save and has to play that one as he kicked that one out into the slot. Breakaway, shot, rebound, shot, score, and the Bruins have taken a 3-0 lead as Craig Smith picks the pocket of the Blues defender, fires it into an open net. And the Bruins have a 3-0 lead with just over 5 minutes left to go here on opening night in St. Louis. Hooking, 2 minor penalty for hooking on Sean Corrali will give the Blues a power play with 4 minutes left in this one. Shot, score, and the Blues quickly. Vladimir Tarasenko on the power play. And I'm wondering if there's a, I don't know if it's a, a bug or something, but it certainly looked like the pass was made to Tarasenko there and there are no assists. So I'll look at the box score when the game's over and maybe it'll add assists, but we'll see. Excuse me. So 3-1 Bruins now with 3:53 left. It only took the Blues 14 seconds to score on that power play. Oscar Sundqvist out 2 minutes for holding, and the Bruins will go on the power play now. Shot by Bergeron is kicked out and cleared all the way down. Parayko picks the pocket of Bergeron that time. Shot there is blocked, and Coyle will go 2 minutes for cross-checking, and that will cancel out the last 23 seconds of the Bruins power play, and the Blues will be on the power play for most of the rest of the game after the next 23 seconds. Blues are on the power play now. We're down to under a minute, and the Blues have pulled the goalie and now have a 6-on-4, and that will do it. The Bruins win 3-1 on opening night. Let's take a look at the box score here. Charlie Coyle got on the board 12:02 the first period. Even strength goal. A lot of penalties in the second period. 5 penalties. Third period, Jake DeBrusk and Craig Smith scored. DeBrusk's from Clifton and Krejci. Tarasenko got the Blues on the board with a power play goal with 16:08 left in the game, but that would be as close as they would get. The Bruins win 3-1. Bruins outshot the Blues 35-26. Blues won the face-off battle. Craig Smith was the number 1 star, Clinton Parayko, and Jake DeBrusk. You can see game rating-wise, Charlie McAvoy had the quote-unquote best game for us offensively. Charlie Coyle was our star. Charlie Coyle and Jake DeBrusk were our stars. Defensively, John Moore, Charlie McAvoy, Connor Clifton. Tuukka Rask made 25 out of 26 saves on the night. Bruins were 0-6 on the power play. The Blues were 1 for 5. So, cool. Bruins win the first game of the season. All right, so let's continue. All right, so that is the end of the first game of the season. So if we look at the standings, the Bruins currently sit tied the Atlantic Division with the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens at 1-0. So that's going to do it. Actually, let's take a look at... So we just beat St. Louis. So what would be the next fun game? Maybe this one. So I think what I'll do is I will sim ahead to here. And this will be the first game that we do once we do sort of a recap of how the first couple weeks went. So maybe we'll do the Lightning game, and then I'll sim ahead to the end of the month. We'll do a monthly recap, and then maybe we do, I don't know, this Detroit game and call it an episode. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. At any rate, I hope you liked it, guys. Again, I'm going to bounce around here a little bit. I'm still not entirely sure how I want to do this. We'll just sort of have to see how it goes. If you have any suggestions, obviously, please let me know. As always, leave a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. And until we talk again, everybody take care. Bye-bye.